Welcome to the Crude Life Podcast, because sometimes when you're making money, life can just be crude. Hey folks, how you doing? My name is Jason Spiess. I'm an award-winning multimedia journalist and talk show host. And on today's episode, we talk with William Prentice, the CEO of the Meridian Energy Group, about the Davis Refinery project coming to Belfield, North Dakota. In this exclusive interview, we get an update on the permit to construct process, as well as when they're going to start moving some earth on the Davis Refinery out there in Belfield, North Dakota. We also take a look at the past year, how Meridian Energy Group is getting ready for the cleanest refinery on the planet, and how the Department of Health in North Dakota, what it's been like working with them on this clean refinery, making sure that what they're talking about, what they're bragging about, is actually going to be a reality. We also talk about the local communities, what they're talking about in Billings and Stark County, and how this new refinery is going to bring a new tax base to western North Dakota. All that plus much more on this exclusive interview with the CEO of Meridian Energy Group, William Prentice, on the Davis Refinery, the first refinery in 50 years, the first greenfield refinery in the United States in 50 years. Also going to be the cleanest refinery on the planet. Exclusive interview with William Prentice in just a moment. But first, I want to take this moment to thank our sponsors. They literally keep our lights on. Over the past few months, I've told you about how unbelievable Hatch coaching is. Well, don't just take my word for it. Listen to what Greg Tavine of Emerging Prairies has to say about Hatch coaching.
When I think of the world that I want to live in, it's with people that care, that take risks, that reinvent themselves, reinvent their organizations, reinvent their industries. And Eric's a model citizen for that. He's trying to solve problems. He's trying to bring people into those solutions. He does incredibly well, but he lives generously. I think a community filled with people like Eric that are solving problems, giving it their best, and creating an environment for others to lead and soar and succeed, that's the place I want to live. And so Eric's the type of person that's in my community, and I'm really grateful for that.
To find out more about Hatch Coaching or to have Eric Hatch speak at your event or company, visit hatchcoaching.com. That's hatchcoaching.com. Or call 701-212-1572. That's 701-212-1572.
This is Bill Prentice, Meridian Energy Group Inc.
And here we are with the CEO of Meridian Energy Group. Of course, Meridian Energy doing the Davis Refinery project. And we're doing the weekly updates here. And over the last few weeks, we've talked with some engineering and environmental consultants and a number of different subcontractors, if you will, people working behind the scenes to kind of give you an update. And now we got the CEO from Meridian to give us an update. And I know that, as I said, we've been talking to some people and things are moving nicely behind the scenes. And we just kind of wanted to get you on to talk to the listeners a little bit about what's going on. Let's start from the permit to the construction process, kind of state of the union, if you will.
Oh, sure. Well, the most important thing on our plate right now, in terms of the schedule for getting the project in operation, is the permit to construct from the North Dakota Department of Health Air Quality Division. We've been in the process of working through that permit since October of 2016, and we've worked very closely with the Department of Health. They've done a lot for us. We've dealt in great detail in what parts of a refinery are problematic. We actually changed the process significantly back in March and submitted a major amendment to our permit application in April as a result. And that change emerged out of the discussions and the analysis that we were doing in kind of the daily back and forth with the health department. That process has continued. We think that we're pretty close to the end of their analysis of the project, and we would expect, pretty quickly here in the next several weeks to see a draft permit come out. We don't have any control over that. The Department of Health has their responsibility to the state and to the people of North Dakota. So they're going to do things the way they need to do it. And we just stand by and make sure they're not sitting there waiting for us to do anything on any given day. Once that permit is issued as a draft for public comment, we're going to have to go through the public comment period. I think that's a 30-day process. During the course of that 30 days, there'll be a public hearing. To the extent that we're requested by the health department to participate, we will help respond to any of those comments. And then it's our understanding that some period of time after that comment period is when the final permit would be granted. It's going to be about the end of the year at the soonest. It puts us obviously in the middle of winter, so we're not going to be running out and starting earthwork immediately. However, we're taking steps to protect the schedule by starting out here in the next week or two with fabrication of some of the major equipment, including the crude tower and so forth. So that'll be in process as the permit works its way through. We prefer to not do any work at the site until the permit is finalized, and so that puts us, probably as early in the spring as we can get in terms of doing grading to start actual construction of the project this coming year. But as I said earlier, the equipment is going to be well along by that time, so it's just a matter of getting foundations done, and we'll start setting equipment, and we're still hopeful that we can be in operation towards the end of 2018, early 2019.
2018, 2019. Okay, I'm just writing down a couple notes here. And that draft permit now, I do believe that's actually part of the state constitution. When something happens, they got to go into a public deal. There was a initiated measure in North Dakota a couple of years ago to where the health department has to go and go through some public comments on there as well. It's just recently in the news. So I do believe that's part of the state constitution. And the other thing was skeptics. Now, I'm not hearing too many skeptics in my world. And I travel across the state quite a bit, but I'm sure there's a couple out there because it is oil and gas and energy, and that seems to just, people blindly go against it and that sort of thing. But what I'm hearing mostly is the jobs. And you talked about the timeline with the grading and the when we can kind of see the 2018 into 2019.